During the antebellum period, enslaved and free African Americans typically came into contact with courts at the state or local level. And I am going to provide information about the organizational structures of state and county courts so that you will have a better understanding of where you are likely to locate relevant records and what the nature of those records might be.
So let's first talk about why ledgers. I use this term ledgers. Why are we even talking about them? You've hopefully heard the term fan club, friends, associates, and neighbors. Well, sometimes our ancestors haven't left the records we'd like to explore, and so we have to rely on our fan club members. And these resources are effectively a version of that.
There's a deeply American story, a story of migration, risk-taking, immense toil, hardship, sacrifice, and courage in the face of long odds. It's an epic tale that until recently has been largely untold and very nearly lost. That story is the rich history of Black homesteaders. Black people came to the Great Plains seeking refuge from violence and repression and racism which they had experienced in the South. They came to own land, to build new lives, to seek equality, and to really realize the American dream. It's a remarkable story of Black achievement, of American achievement.
But one thing I want you to remember about your identity, this is so important. Your ancestry and heritage is a key factor. You cannot underestimate how impactful your own ancestry and heritage is to your identity. And when you encounter those difficult chapters of your history, it impacts your identity. With our collective history, dialogue, I believe dialogue is the route to healing.
In 1860, there were about 4.5 million people of African descent in the United States. 90% of these people were enslaved, but about 10% were free people of color. About half of the free colored population lived in historical slave states. So I'm going to begin with a focus on the paths to freedom that existed before the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution ended hereditary slavery.
How many of you take the time to conduct thorough research to determine if that information, family lore, is true or false? It is my opinion that in order to provide an accurate family history and a foundation based on truth, we must spend quality time proving or disproving what has been shared with us.